Welcome everyone. Since next week is Cinco de Mayo, what better way to celebrate indoors than one of John's refreshing margaritas, some homemade salsa de mesa, chunky guacamole, and low-fat baked tortilla chips. Today, I'm going to show you how to make all of these dishes in a very simple fashion. Sit back and enjoy. To start off, we're going to make salsa de mesa, or table salsa in Spanish. What we have is 6 red plum tomatoes. Just going to throw them in a pot. We have 2 jalapenos with the seeds. If you want to take out the seeds for a little less spice, you can cut them in half and remove the seeds. But I'm going to like it a little bit spicy. I have a 1/4 of an onion that's peeled. I'm going to put that in the pot as well. And I'm going to cover that with as much water as it needs to cover. And I'm going to put this on the fire for 20 minutes and let it boil. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to take off my tomatoes, peppers, and onions. I'm just going to pour them into a colander here. And from that, we're going to take that same mixture and put it into our blender. Right now we have our 3 cloves of sliced garlic right into the blender. I'm going to have a 1/4 cup, basically, of chopped cilantro. I have a half a lime, which I'm going to squeeze right into the blender as well. Now I'm going to add a pinch or 2 of Mexican oregano. Now Mexican oregano is different than the Mediterranean oregano that you always see in the supermarket. It's a completely different plant. It's indigenous to Mexico. It has a more earthy, woodsy flavor. If you can't find Mexican oregano, regular oregano will work fine, but the regular oregano is more on it comes from the mint family. This is a species that's indigenous to Mexico, and it adds a more woodsy, earthy flavor. And as well as that, we're going to season with a little salt, kosher salt, and some fresh black pepper. And then we'll put all this into our blender and slowly turn it on to a little pulse at first, and then we can turn it all the way up. Now we have our homemade salsa de mesa. Just gonna put it into our nice attractive bowl here. Now we can leave this out for a couple of hours at room temperature. If you're gonna serve it that day, it'll be fine. If you're gonna serve it for tomorrow or something, let it cool down completely at room temperature. Leave it in the fridge open until it's cold, and then you can put it in an airtight container. But we have to just give it a taste. Oh, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's on to our chunky guacamole. We're going to start with an avocado. If you've never cleaned an avocado before, we're just going to take the knife, put it in, spin the avocado in your hand, line it up with the line, give it a twist, take the back of the knife, and twist the avocado seed out, and it comes right out. And then we're just going to take the knife and make a crisscross pattern inside our avocado. And then we scoop out the flesh. And the avocado is already diced and chunky. We have our 1 lime that we're going to juice right over the top. We have 1 jalapeno. I've removed the seeds. It's going to be, if you want half a jalapeno, take out the seeds if you don't like it too spicy. But I've used the whole one here, a small one. Sometimes jalapenos can get a little bit large, so half would be fine. Take out the seeds. I have a 1/4 of a red onion that I've minced. And I've also taken the flesh of the tomato. And when I say the flesh, I'm just going to remove the inside like this. Take that away, we don't want that. And we're going to just slice that fine like that. Now we're going to add our tomatoes to our mix. We have a clove of garlic. I'm just going to microplane it over the mixture as well. I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt to taste, a little bit of crushed black pepper, and about 1/3 of a cup of chopped cilantro. Now traditionally they use a molcajete to make the avocado, mash it into guacamole, but this one is really not convenient for that. It's too small. So what I use is a glove, which I'm sure all of you have at home now as a staple in your house, and we're just going to toss this mixture together and lightly squeeze it. We don't want to make a puree because we want some chunks of the avocado in there at the same time, but lightly squeeze it, mix it around good, and squeeze it with your hands until you have the consistency that you like. I like it chunky, and I don't like it too pureed. So that's basically a couple of seconds, and that's what we get, chunky guacamole. Always taste the guacamole first. Make sure it's well seasoned. This one is fine. And then take your spatula. Again, put it in your fancy dish. Now we want to take a piece of plastic. If we're not going to serve this immediately, we're going to put it so. And then we're going to push it down onto our mix to let out any air that's in there, because the air will oxidize the avocado, and that's why you get the brown looking ugly gray avocado. This will keep for at least 2 or 3 hours in the fridge before discoloring at this point. Just make sure you get all the air out of there. Lastly, to make our low-fat chips, we're going to take a canola oil, brush our cookie tray. Probably 1 or 2 is more than sufficient. Okay. And then we're just going to, on our cutting board, take the same oil, lightly brush the tops of the tortilla. And then we're going to stack them. And we'll cut each one in 6s. What I've done is taken the tortillas, I've placed them in a single layer with the non-oiled side down on the sheet pan, and make sure nothing is touching. And we're just going to take a little bit of kosher salt, sprinkle it over the top. And we're going to put this in our 400-degree preheated oven for 20 minutes. We're going to turn it after 10 minutes. We're going to turn them over. So we're going to bake it for 20 minutes. We'll do 10 minutes, we'll flip it, and then another 10 minutes. In about 10 minutes, I'm just going to flip all of these over and then put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes or so. Just keep an eye on it. So everybody's oven is different. It might take 5 minutes, it might take 8 minutes, it might take 10 minutes, depending on your oven. But just, it's going to be golden brown when it's finished. Our finished, crispy, low-fat baked tortilla chips, golden brown. And here we have it, folks. Our chips, a little bit of guacamole, a little bit of salsa de mesa, and of course the final taste test. All I need is a margarita. John, where are you?